Look at what we have here at the conference. We're at the annual meeting of the profession right now. And so there's obviously a lot of talk about counseling, counselor education, the field, and what are some of the exciting and emerging and sort of hot topics in the field of counseling or counselor education that you see that is developing right now in the profession?
Well, there's always, of course, concerns about crisis in schools, such as violence in schools and bullying. But more importantly, I think in our profession, we're really starting to embrace an understanding of diversity and how important diversity is in helping all populations to be successful. And that's one thing we actually tried to incorporate a lot in this book. How do you help special populations? We're seeing more Latino and Hispanic students, African American students, women, Native Americans, Asian Americans. How do you help all populations to be successful? And I think our profession is moving toward more than just tolerance or understanding others, but really truly embracing diversity and upholding it as a unique gift that people bring to their work and to the profession.
And I think building off of that, I don't know that this is a new thing, but I think the idea of counselors should be leaders and advocates, in their work. And historically, I think that's how we've thought of ourselves. But more and more so, I think that talk is becoming more common. And when you're thinking about college and career planning, the ability to speak up on behalf of these various populations and make sure that they're getting the services that they need in P-12 schools and the opportunities that ties into, I think, what we're doing too.
And what do you kind of see as the future of school counseling? If you were to peer into the future 5 or 10 years, what do you see as the future? Where you've kind of talked about kind of where it's at now. What are you seeing in the future? If you could crystal ball a little bit.
That's a good question. I think ideally what I would love to see is schools appreciating the need for school counselors, and I think we've seen a little bit of that, increasing where school counselors are mandated or mental health counselors are mandated in schools.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that will happen, I guess, is a good question.
Yeah, and I'd like to see a continued unified professional identity, recognizing how important program planning is to really have an effective school counseling program. It's a cohesive plan from start to finish. How we determine the needs of a population or populations, how we design programs and interventions to meet those needs, and how we evaluate them. We want clinicians to come out who can show that they're effective, that they can produce student outcomes, and that they have deliverables that really demonstrate quality school counseling professionals.
Well, thank you for joining us today, ladies. This is really great information, and we'll look forward to seeing the book, Career Counseling.
We will too.
and so will we. Career Counseling in P-12 Schools, published by Springer Publishing Company. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.